Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Friday, July the 27th, and this is the market overview for the weekend. Looking at the Dow, SPX, VIX, TNA, UUP, FXD, GLD, SLV, and all the rest. And starting off with the Dow, this was an incredible day. We were expecting upside more likely than downside simply because of the alignment of the dollar and some other factors that we went over in last night's video. Personally, I was hoping for 100 points, and this was almost double that, which was awesome. And I did not know... Oh, this is an SPX, so actually I'm getting ahead of myself. But nonetheless, very impressive day. Closed outside the upper Bollinger Band, backed away slightly at the end of the day. Incredible move. We definitely have a blip in the heat map for a possible top at this time. Certainly being outside the upper Bollinger Band, also not a good thing. But we made a new major high, not the current ceiling, but all of this time period, all bested. Very, very bullish. We should be able to expect that... reasonably expect that there will be an attempt to go back up here and test the ceiling, the most important one. But it doesn't mean it has to happen Monday or anything like that. Matter of fact, Monday, it would be great if it was just a sideways day. Needs to get back inside the upper Bollinger Band. Hopefully it's not down too much. If it can go sideways, that would be really nice. But we will see. We'll see. CCI up, stochastics up, 14-day RSI moving average, first tick up after all of this ascent. Up on the RSI, up on the MACD, up on the MACD histogram. We still have room to move on the stochastics, the RSI, the MACD histogram, the MACD. The RSI is pretty darn high, and the 14-day RSI moving average is still in its pretty high, but it can go a little bit higher. So, and it can become stuck there, as we've seen in the past many times. So, are the bulls finished? Not in the slightly past immediate term. So, we'll see. Very interesting. Certainly, it could have a pullback. It's done quite a lot already. We shall see. 60-minute time frame. We have... Well, the last candle of the day was an inside candle, which actually is a good sign for the bulls. We have a topping area in the heat map, and it started to try and work itself off, ran out of time by the end of the day. Stochastics attempting to curl, CCI attempting to curl, histogram ticking down, RSI ticking down, MACD still up, 14-day RSI moving average still up. These can... remain high while the histogram ticks down closer to 0 and then decide to roll. So we'll see. Just too early. We got the weekend. Any kind of news can happen over the weekend. What can you say about that? I don't think there's too much to yield off of this chart in that regards. SPX, massively impressive. We were toying around with the Fibonacci levels. We were at the 66 yesterday. Broke out of the 100 today, making a new major high, recent high, right here today. Very impressive. And very similar to the Dow. Everything moving up. Even going for a bullish cross on the MACD. We do have a pretty hard blip in the heat map, which is to be expected. We can see that happen here in the past as well. Normally, if it's a short one, it occurs within a day or two of a top, if not on the day of a top. So there is some danger at this moment, but it can go sideways, work itself off, even go a little bit higher. We shall see. Certainly, we have more room to move in the secondaries. And very impressive. Matter of fact, Yeah, the next level is up here, way up here at this isn't right. 1415, and actually 405 would be a level as well. Good 20 points to the upside from here. Almost as strong a day as today, and then potentially run into some problems. Definitely should run into some problems at that point, if not before. And 60-minute, everything is moving up. High on the CCI, and still room to move on everything else. Oh, this is the daily. Duh. Wow, that's really dumb of me. Haha. Room to move on the daily. 60-minute time frame. And it's exactly like the Dow. No need to rehash. Alright, going on to the VIX. Last night we were saying that this was a problem. This was not jiving too well. Today it didn't do that much better. I mean, back down into the 16s. Really, it should have been like 16 flat, or maybe even bumping into the 15s, but it just wasn't meant to be. We have bottoming area in the heat map showing up. Everything is moving down. We still have room to move. Actually, the 14-day RSI moving average is going sideways, not down. It's the lone holdout. We don't have a bearish cross on the MACD yet. So room to move to the downside. Very curious. You know, if it turns out we start going up hard on Monday, I would expect bears just to start dumping. Because everybody is expecting at the end of today that, oh, we're outside the upper Bollinger Band. Oh, we had such a run. It's time to get out. And most of the time that is absolutely right. I'm just thinking, what if that doesn't happen? You're going to have so many people crushed that it's just a possibility to me. TNA. This one has been lagging. We know that it is not healthy to do what it's been doing. It did make a valiant attempt today to catch up. Getting above the 200-day moving average, very bullish. Getting above the long-term moving averages, very bullish. If we get that cross of the middle Bollinger Band, that'll be very bullish. Beyond that, we don't really have too much in the heat map, unlike the Dow, unlike SPX. And we are moving up on everything with the exception of the 14-day RSI moving average, which is losing some steam. So overall, this definitely is more bullish than bearish by a good factor, and especially if we can get that 14-day to turn and at the very least go sideways. We'll see. This one is a warning sign, but I'm not counting it out yet. Not yet. At the very least, I would hope that it would get up here to 56 and retest this high before turning back. If it craps out right away, that'll be a very bearish sign. What is there to say beyond that? 60-minute is overheated, just like the Dow, just like SPX. Moving on to UUP, the dollar. And this one last night was the reason why we were thinking bullish. Of course, there was the possibility that it would want to fill this gap first, but we were saying that it would be more likely to go for this since it had pierced the major price consensus level. And even though it is a green candle today, it did some fantastic damage. I mean, it went down, it filled in a lot of the gap, not completely, a lot of it, and then it had this weird pop up in like no time at all, and recovered almost all of the loss, actually all of the loss, and then started climbing up, and the market did not care. It was kind of creepy to see. It was didn't make any sense. and it did what it did. Could this be a hammer? I mean, bottom of a recent range. It could be. There is this line that I had played around with. I don't know why the scale was all messed up here, but I will recreate it. There it is. How about that? I played with this. We had used it when we were doing this down. It touched nicely. We had the close right on top of it. And once you know it, it came down, it kissed that, and that's exactly where it flew. I mean, it was incredible. Beyond that, yes, we do have a little bit of a bottoming area in the heat map. We do have the CCI ticking up, the RSI, the 14-day RSI moving average, and the stochastics going down. Well, actually, I guess that's sideways on the 14-day RSI moving average. Up on the RSI, down the histogram, down the MACD, bearish cross. Overall, this one's kind of difficult to read. It is pretty darn mixed. It'd be really simple if that bounce didn't happen, but it did. Matter of fact, let's see if we can find that bounce. There it is. Had the gap down. It was moving down all day. The scale is a little bit off here with that line, or else it'd be touching perfect. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom. And it did recover quite a bit, holding on close to the highs of the day. Pretty darn remarkable. Beyond that, 60-minute time frame, yeah, this is definitely more bullish than bearish, which is bad for the market. Bulls looking for a bullish cross. MACD histogram going up. RSI, CCI, stochastics all going up. 14-day RSI moving average just going sideways at the bottom. Looks like it's ready to turn. Wow. Been totally different. I don't know what the deal is with this, but pretty darn amazing. FXC, the euro. Very nice. We had the uptick yesterday, or 2 days ago. It gapped above it, which was pretty darn amazing. We thought that was bullish, but we didn't have a gap through the uptick really before. So it was kind of a mystery. And at its high today, doing very well, going into the long-term moving average bar. Very, very bearish bar. Getting kicked out of it, and the same thing as UUP, the huge giant candle which rocked its world. CCI still moving up, stochastic still moving up, 14-day RSI moving average sideways, down on the RSI, up on the histogram, up on the MACD, bullish cross. It is more bearish than bullish at this time, but it does have some things which are different than UUP, like CCI, for instance, still pointing up. If it was the perfect inverse of UUP, it would be pointing down. So kind of a push-pull, but I just give the benefit of the doubt to the long-term moving average bar. If it can just go up and start fighting with it just to do some slow damage to it, I would be completely happy with that. And we can see that it closed this gap here today, which leaves this part of the single and the double remaining, which we talked about last night. Going on to Comp Q, the NASDAQ. We weren't happy with this one either, just like TNA. And this one doing an even better job than TNA, trying to catch up. It's very close to recent highs. Can it bust out of those? Well, everything is moving up, with the exception of the 14-day RSI moving average, which is going sideways. We have a slight pop in the heat map, possible topping area, but we're not outside the upper Bollinger Band. This one actually seems to have better odds to me in the daily for continued up movement come Monday, and I hope that it does. If it can catch up to the Dow and SPX as they go sideways, presumably, that will be very healthy, especially if this is able to take out at least one of these previous highs, maybe even both. But we'll see. We could have a turnaround come Monday. So Hmm. Oh, why not? Amazon. This one was getting destroyed in the after hours after it reported. It bounced back in the after hours. Today gapping up. Totally awesome. And way outside the upper Bollinger Band. Massively bullish day. And everything moving up. Everything having room to move on the way up. CCI very high though. 14-day RSI moving average going sideways. The only two that are a little bit questionable. But wow, very, very bullish. 60-minute time frame, why not? I know that we don't cover this that often. Everything is holding high or still moving up, with the exception of the histogram, which is starting to slant down. We can get locked in the upright position while the histogram ticks down to 0. So Monday. Nice alignment for going down for a reset, though. I know there's a lot of ifs, but it's just a lot of ifs. GE trying to get a better read on the Dow. Definite possible topping area. We did break out of this high, this major high. This is very good for the overall markets. If this one is foreshadowing what's happening in the Dow, then we will be going up and taking out the recent high for this year. But it is way outside the upper Bollinger Band. We had talked about pushing it back, and it certainly is trying to do that, or is doing that. CCI massively high. Stochastics really getting there. 14-day RSI moving average going sideways, up on the RSI, up on the histogram, up on the MACD. Extremely bullish. 60 minutes overheated, which it should be. Going on to Apple. Apple had a very slow start, but by the end of the day, really did some good. Getting sucked back into the bullish bar, receiving an uptick. Uptick gives us a target of about 954.50. So it has $10 to go. No problem in the heat map. Up on the CCI, down on the 14-day RSI moving average. Stochastics trying to turn. RSI going sideways, losing traction on the MACD, and up on the MACD histogram. Very encouraging. And if Apple goes up, it should take CompQ with it. Should take the markets with it. One of the reasons why I think that Monday doesn't necessarily have to be down. You know, upticks work. Upticks work. And JP Morgan. Look at that. Amazing. Busting out the 200-day moving average, piercing the upper price consensus level, making a new recent high at its height. And everything moving up with the exception, the 14-day RSI moving average is ticking up as well. Everything moving up. And not that bad of a tick in the heat map. This could have more. This could have more. And XLF, the financials, did they follow JP Morgan? Yes, they did. Closing above the upper price consensus level. Testing the previous high? Or is that a slight break? Nope. To the penny. Hitting the previous high. Could we have a double top here and crap out? Yes. Not much in the heat map to stop it. And everything ticking up, looking for a bullish cross. Very, very bullish. That's why I say, if we get a little bit more up, that is the perfect way to put the screws to the bears that are out there. And there's a lot of them. So, I mean, how many people are going to believe that Monday's going to be up huge or moderately or minorly? Not very many people. So, anyways, just a theory. GLD. We were happy with it getting some movement last night. It was outside the upper Bollinger Band. We thought it would have to go back inside. It did not. Pretty darn amazing. Ending with a doji. Closing above the major price consensus level. Definitely a topping warning sign in the heat map. Down on the CCI, up on the stochastics, up on the 14-day RSI moving average, up on the RSI, up on the histogram, up on the MACD. Overall, very, very bullish. Man, 3 days outside the upper Bollinger Band. That is amazing. And SLV, we weren't pleased with SLV last night. And I don't think it's going to be changing. It's doing better than I thought it would. Everything either ticking up or holding high. It is a bullish chart, making a sort of a new recent high. Needs to take out this one though. I do like that it's kind of going slow to damage the long-term moving average bar properly. It is very, very bearish. And it going slow is also a testament to the long-term moving average bar, putting the brakes to it. But it still isn't something that I would really want to mess with at the moment. And Walmart. Something I someday will short. Again. Outside the upper Bollinger Band, warning sign. And everything moving up, looking for a bullish cross. Incredible. This is an all-time high. See how high it can go. And a quick Vegas baby. MGM. Talked about it last night. Had the uptick. Had a hammer. Bottom of a range. Nice movement today. Spinning top. Fat body. Uptick target has still not been met. Has a ways to go. Very nice. And indicator wise. Rolling over to the upside. Nothing in the heat map to stop it. Very nice. I hope that it doesn't crap out Monday. This will go right back down. But for the moment, yep, more bullish than bearish. By a good amount. LVS, more of the same. Last night, we were going off of the hammer outside the lower Bollinger Band. We didn't have an uptick, but every other Vegas stock did. And today, another hammer, getting back inside the lower Bollinger Band, which is what we were looking for. And another day that's positive. Extremely good chance that we'll have an uptick. Guess we'll see on Monday. Nothing to stop it in the heat map. Everything trying to turn over. Not to the same extent of MGM. Still down on the histogram. Still down on the MACD. But early indications of a turn. Very nice. And win. We had that hammer last night. We had the uptick. Green day, very nice. Everything rolling over to the upside with the exception of the 14-day RSI moving average. Nothing in the heat map to stop it. Excellent. And I don't know if we covered this one last night or not. Actually, I don't think that we did. Had a hammery looking thing on Boyd, but we did have, no, we didn't have an uptick on it last night. I just normally don't care about Boyd. Well, it got an uptick today. Good for the sector. Given a target of, this is Best Buy, this isn't Boyd. Oh man. Had a hammery looking structure last night. And it did not have a new recent low. But wouldn't you know it, green today as well, giving us a hammer. Good for the sector, just shy of 6.4. I almost bought some today, but I didn't. Probably will hit myself later for not. But the spreads on the options were just too great. And everything moving on up, rolling over, with the exception of the 14-day RSI moving average, which is massively low already. Is there anything else that I need to cover? RSP, unweighted RSI. Well, it did make a new high at its peak. Very good. Very, very good. We were concerned about it because it was lagging so much relative to the SPX, and today it did really good. Everything moving on up. Blip in the heat map. Bullish in the daily. Overheated in the 60-minute. And that's it. Hope everybody enjoys the Olympics if you're into that sort of thing. And have a great weekend. Monday is going to be fascinating one way or the other. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video are for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you.